Neal Brown sounds more confident than ever. On a recent interview on another YouTube show called Infinity Sports Network with Zach Gelb, he had a lot to say that really took me back. I didn't expect him to put as much out there like he did. Some of the things that he said were really pretty, I don't want to say shocking, but it's in the same vein as last year with the Big 12 Conference when we were predicted to be 14th. It's that same bravado as then. And so we're going to talk about that today on this episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. Neal Brown is extremely confident. And I'll tell you what, I am buying in. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Are you drinking the Kool-Aid? Well, let's find out. Before we get into all that, of course, I think we should probably do the channel sponsorship. Sorry, I just got a crazy text message. I'm not even going to lie, like an insane one. I got to respond. Give me 1 second. Okay, so all right. I've been trying to acquire another channel, guys, a big one. And somebody just got a hold of me about possibly going forward with it. So that's what that was about. Sorry about that. Trying to get bigger here, guys. Trying to grow this thing. So anyway, let's read the article first. I wrote an article, and I know not everybody agrees with me reading my own articles, but I'm just trying to promote my website, guys. So please don't look down on me for it. But it basically entails everything that Neal said, and then we'll go and watch some of the video too, and you guys can kind of check it out for yourself. What do you think? How do you feel? How's this making you feel? Check it out. So let's share the screen really quick. Neal Brown talks Big 12 championship and beyond on recent show. West Virginia University's head coach Neal Brown recently joined the Zach Gelb show on Infinity Sports Network to outline ambitious goals for the Mountaineers' upcoming football season. Coming off a season characterized by a strong family atmosphere and notable momentum, Coach Brown articulated WVU's aspirations to reach new heights in collegiate football. We've got a lot of momentum, Coach Brown emphasized, acknowledging the challenges ahead, particularly the tough season opener at Penn State. Despite this, he expressed confidence in the team's blend of youthful energy and seasoned experience heading into the new season. Offensively, WVU retained substantial firepower with nearly all key positions returning intact, a critical advantage for the strategic plans. We bring back almost all our production at the skill positions, Coach Brown noted, underscoring the team's offensive stability amid departures like center Zach Frazier and lineman Doug Nestor. Leading the charge at quarterback is Garrett Green, complemented by standout talents like Jaheim White at running back and C.J. Donaldson, forming a formidable offensive lineup. Coach Brown affirmed his belief in their ability to perform at a high level. On the defensive side, the Mountaineers boast a solid returning front and notable improvements in the linebacker unit. Our front is back, and we've made significant strides at linebacker, Coach Brown confirmed. However, he highlighted the secondary as an area requiring substantial improvement for overall team success. Special teams also emerged as a focal point for enhancement. Special teams is where we need to make a jump, Coach Brown stressed, recognizing its pivotal role in potentially elevating WVU's performance from a 9-win season to achieving 10 or 11 wins, culminating in a spot for the Big 12 championship and the college football playoff. During his appearance on the Zach Gelb show, Coach Brown spoke with conviction about the feasibility of these lofty ambitions. It's a challenge, but we have a tremendous opportunity to make our mark nationally, he asserted, reflecting on WVU's strong showing last season and the depth of returning talent. Coach Brown anticipated a preseason top 25 ranking, affirming the team's readiness for the competitive Big 12 schedule. Discussing the conference's rigorous nature, Coach Brown highlighted the demanding schedule of 11 Power Conference games, underscoring WVU's position among the nation's toughest competitors. The Big 12 is highly competitive, he noted, emphasizing parity across the board. The Big 12 championship is our primary goal, Coach Brown declared resolutely. Achieving that will naturally position us for the college football playoff. With aspirations set on Dallas for the championship game and beyond, Coach Neal Brown and the Mountaineers are poised to embark on a season filled with promise and potential. Stay tuned to WVInsiders.com for more updates on this offseason. Okay, so he said a lot there. And unfortunately, I didn't add all of the quotes in because it's just – if I sat there and typed in everything he said word for word, it would have been like a 4-page article, you know. So we're going to get over to the Zach Gelb show here, and I'm just going to play a couple parts of that so you guys can hear for context sake, because I feel like, you know, context is important, and it's easy to skew or take out of context what Coach meant. And I don't want to do that. So let's get over here to the Zach Gelb show, and I'll share that. I don't know if it'll flag me or not. I really don't care. If I can't share a simple clip from a video, then, you know, what are you doing, you know? So I'm going to try to I think it's right around the minute plus mark where it says it. Right in here somewhere, so I might be messing around. I'll be messing around a little bit here and there, but I'll get it.
WoW is a standalone World of Warcraft private server that reimagines WoW.
That's my 9-year-old son that just slid behind our grease board.
Program that you have now, you're entering your 6th season. You guys are coming off a big win, and it seems like obviously it's a family atmosphere at West Virginia.
Yeah, well, it's we have momentum, and momentum is only as good as your last game, and so we've got a challenging schedule coming up. It starts right here in our home stadium, Mountaineer Field, where we host Penn State on the Fox Big Noon game, and man, that's a game that we're really excited about. And we returned a lot of production off our team last year. I think we've got a good mix of youth and experience. Offensively, we bring back almost in our entire production in all our skill positions. We miss our center, Zach Frazier, who was a second-round pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then Doug Nestor, who was a starting lineman here for us for 3 years. But we've got a large piece of that back, and it starts with Garrett Green and Jaheim White at running back, who I think is as good as anybody. C.J. Donaldson, who's a big, powerful back, provide a 1-2 punch. And then defensively, our front, which played really well down the stretch last year, a lot of that production is back. We feel like we've made some real improvements at linebacker. And then secondary, that's where we needed to make our biggest jump. And our secondary, and then improving a couple of our special teams is where we need to make a jump to be able to go from a 9-win to a 10-11 team win, and a team that can get to Dallas for our playoff or for our championship and into the playoff.
You talk about all the guys that you return, and we'll get into more detail.
He's not mincing words, guys. You know, like he's not saying, you know, if he's not saying we might, he's not, you know, he's declaring like, okay, we got to make these improvements, but that's, you know, that's the natural progression here for us to make the Big 12 championship game in the playoff. Like that's where his mindset is. And I would imagine the teams as well. Not mincing words is Neal Brown, guys. And this guy, pretty good interview, asking for clarification later on in the video on what he meant. I'm going to try to find that really quick. I think it's, let's see if I can find it.
Daily processes to get us there.
Backyard brawl.
11. Yeah, we play 11. I feel strongly.
A few of the things you said at Big 12 Media Days obviously caught some fire. You know, this team this year, I know earlier you talked about, you know, get into a Big 12 championship and also get into a college football playoff spot, and obviously it expands to 12 teams this year. Going into this year, obviously you're going to be confident, but why do you think this team could accomplish all those things that you laid out earlier for us?
Well, it's a challenge, without a question. You know, we've got a great opportunity to really get on the national landscape in week 1. I feel strongly off our body of work from last season and who we have returning, that we should be a preseason top 25. And the way college football works, you've got to be around that preseason, either in the preseason top 25 or around it to be able to get into some of those discussions. That's just the way it kind of works. And so with our production, and then we play a really challenging schedule. Go Penn State host, opener, Albany, a really good FCS opponent. Then we go to Pitt.
Backyard brawl.
Yeah, we play 11 Power 5 opponents, which we're one of the few teams that do that in the country. And so our schedule is as challenging as anybody out there. The Big 12 Conference is extremely competitive. And I think it's one of the more exciting conference races there is, because there's not a whole big difference 1 through 16 in our league. And it's not a top-heavy league like some other conferences. And that gives you a real opportunity. You know, the access to the playoff is, from where we're sitting at West Virginia, is much greater than it is in some of these schools in the SEC and the Big Ten. And it just is. And
so that's important to point out there. And that's pretty much all. You know, I almost made the video about that. I thought which one would be more interesting. You know, I didn't want to go down the negative route with him saying the road to the playoff is tougher through West Virginia. I almost, you know, like I said, I almost made a video around that theme because I think it's important to point that out. But generally speaking, guys, I really feel good about Coach Brown's mindset. I've watched hundreds and hundreds of his interviews. I'm a big people watcher. I'm a big read between the lines kind of person. I read body language, or at least try. And I have seen Coach Brown at times when he's not confident. And he is a big question dodger if he's not confident in something. He's not going to speak on something he's not confident about. And these questions he answered with just massive confidence. And sure, he's biased. Sure, he's really close to it. He's as close to it as anybody. But coaches usually stand on the side. They're usually a little bit on the side of trepidation when it comes to answering these kind of questions. And just with the things he was throwing out there, like, you know, basically he said, I feel great about the offense. I feel good about the defense. We have to fix the back end, but we got like almost 10 pieces in the back end and some special teams. And we should be able, you know, we should be talking about the Big 12 championship and possibly playoff. Like, what? Like, that's insane to me. So, top 25, I don't think we're going to be there. I think we'll be right outside it, probably top 35 probably. But that's the good thing about us is we can change that first game of the season. So we play Penn State first, obviously. And we win that game, and we all know the sky is the limit. You know, we can have a huge year next year with a playoff appearance if we win that game. I think we all agree on that. Let's look at the comments here. Jim, Tyler Cobb, John Cunningham, thank you guys for all being here. Eric Flowers, Curtis 313, Tyler Cobb, thank you guys for all showing up to this YouTube live session. And then everybody on X who I can't see, which is a lot of you guys. I've been getting a ton of people on X here lately. We've got 40 on Mountaineer Paul. We've got 3 on Hoops for the Hill. Oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. 3 on Hoops for the Hills and 37 on Mountaineer Paul Talks Football's YouTube channel. So let me know how you guys are feeling. You know, after you saw Coach Brown and everything he had to say right there, what's your thought process on this? Do you feel like Coach Brown is competent? Do you feel like he was just going through the motions answering those questions? I've seen somebody say that too, like, well, he's just, what's he supposed to say? And I get that too. But I don't, like I said, I watched a lot of his press conferences. He wouldn't have thrown out, the things that he threw out with the Big 12 with the playoff. He didn't think we had an outside shot of doing it or a good shot. What's up, Jacob Yoho? Not only will we have an explosive offense, but this is the best defense in years, in my opinion, says Curtis D316. So, yeah, I mean, obviously pass catchers are going to be where my focus is. I love our running back room. I really like our offensive line. I'm going to wait and see if it's going to be better than last year's. I certainly think it has the opportunity to be as good, which if we can run the ball like we did last year, we'll be fine, right? Like you said, running back room is great. Pass catchers is where I'm really looking, but obviously defense on the back end is like Neal Brown said. I mean, you look at all the pieces we've added back there. It's going to be tough to. I do think we're going to improve back there, and we don't have to improve a lot for this defense to get really good really quick. At linebacker, we've got at least 3 that I'm extremely confident in back there, and I'm sure there are others. Well, no, there are more than 3 if you count the outside backers. But I mean, if we're talking about, okay, in the middle, you're going to have probably Ben Cutter or Reed Carrico. On the outsides, you've got Josiah Trotter and Trey Lathan, right? And then you start to talk about Tyron Bradley and Ty French. And that's the linebacking core, guys. And it's the best one we've had in a long, long time. Like, I would have to go back and actually look at it to see when it was better, because this is a strong, strong group, guys. Tyron Bradley finished the season as strong as anybody on the team and doesn't even get mentioned in that room now, because obviously Josiah Trotter is the new hot name. Trey Lathan was on his way to he probably would have been in the conversation for player of the year, defensive player of the year in the league had he not gotten hurt. He was playing that well the first few games. Ben Cutter he can take a huge step. Goodness gracious, I can't quit yawning, guys. I apologize. I think Ben Cutter could take a huge step. And then Reed Carrico is a former 4-star stud who I've interviewed on this show recently. He played his snaps at Ohio State. Never broke the team too deep, but still has that 4-star pedigree, and he has had a lot of praise upon him in the offseason. You look on, like I said, Tyron Bradley had just an amazing finish to the year, and he sets the edge at outside linebacker just incredibly well, and will be a stalwart in run defense and can really get after it pass rush wise. And then Ty French on the other side is going to be a terror. He's a 2-time FCS All-American, and he is 6'3", 240, 50 pounds of he can move people. So I love that linebacking room. I think it's the strongest room on the defense. In previous years, it's been the D-line. I think Eddie V and those boys have got some work to do to catch up to the linebacker room. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I have no clue why. Sorry about this. Tyler Cobb, I officially changed my preseason prediction to 10-2, losses to K-State and Zona. Yeah. I mean, so you're saying we beat Penn State, huh? It's tough, man. It's a tough schedule. It really, really is. I mean, can't deny that. No matter which way you slice it, can't deny that. So, before we go any further, guys, let me go ahead and do these sponsorships. Read the sponsors off. I already forgot to do that. Let's see. Let me get it pulled up here. But, yeah, leave me a comment below, guys. Let me know how you're feeling about everything that Neal Brown said. And if you didn't see it, you can rewind the video some and go back and look and see what it was Neal Brown said. All right. Give me 1 second here, guys. Today's video is brought to you by Magic Shine Auto Spa and Tint in Morgantown, West Virginia. At Magic Shine, your vehicle's care is their top priority. They use only the highest quality products to ensure your car not only looks its best, but is also protected and maintained with the utmost care. From window tinting with top-of-the-line Max Pro Tint to protective ceramic coatings from Diamond Protec, they've got you covered. Come on in, drive in today and experience the difference of Magic Shine Auto Spa and Tint, where your car shines like new. Shine on, Morgantown. And this episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive. Friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front on any new or pre-loved vehicle in stock every time. With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing and ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for. Check out our inventory across West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com or come in today to the home of friends and family pricing, only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store near you. All right. Absolutely, we will not lose to Drew Allen and his band of kittens in Morgantown with 60,000 in the stadium, says Tyler Cobb. What is up, Silas? Yes, sir, Tyler. Penn State will start the season 0-1, take it to the bank. Jacob Yoho says, my big worry is Brown is going to be aggressive like he was last year. What do you mean, Jacob? Go into more detail. This team has the potential to be really special. Hey, Krista. Nice to see you. Eric Flowers, we are undefeated. Oh, boy. I've released what Neal Brown said, and now everybody's making big predictions. Guys, don't forget about the Super Chat button as well. Would certainly appreciate that. As always, if you want to donate to the channel, this is my full-time job. Trying to get content out for you guys today. There's really not a lot to talk about. There's recruiting stuff that's always happening. But, gosh, I don't know what's up with my yawning here. My recruiting videos just don't do that well. I mean, there are the same few you guys that always watch them. But, I mean, as far as some of my better videos, they just don't stack up. So I hesitate to do them because, I don't know, I feel like overall not everybody likes them as much as I do. So it's because I have to put myself in your shoes and think, what do you guys want to see rather than what I want to see? Because if it was what I wanted to see, we'd be on the telestrator every episode, and I'd be over here breaking down film on players and shit. What's up, Mo Carpenter? What's up, brother? Glad to see you, man. Right, we currently are undefeated. I get what you mean. Is he going to take chances? Well, would you want it? I mean, I want him to. I want him to, personally. So, just the way I look at it, Neal Brown, the conservative Neal Brown that had Jarrett Dagey and JT Daniels, is not the guy that I want to roll with. I mean, I want a mix of the two, if we can get it. So that's just me, though, right? All right, so that's interesting. Wow, that is interesting. Guys, how'd you guys feel about me getting a lot bigger? I don't know how to put this without giving it away, really, but I've got a chance to grow here, and it can get exciting really quick, but some of you guys might have to bring yourselves to a third channel. So a lot of you guys already subscribe to Mountaineer Paul Talks Football and Hoops from the Hills. But I'm curious, would you do it for me on another one? You know, it would be it'd be a big deal, you know, but there's a lot of hesitancy there. I mean, I guess I'll just say it, you know. I mean, it's not like nobody's asking me to keep this a secret, and I don't know that it's for sure going to happen yet, but there's negotiations going on right now, and I haven't talked to the necessary parties about it recently because I just got the message again. But Gold Blue Dude's channel is not being used, and I've wanted to take a look at that platform for a while because it's there and it's not being used, and I feel like Gold Blue Dude worked really hard to get it where it was at, and it's just slowly dying. And you know, I think he would want it to go on, you know, especially from another Mountaineer fan, you know, and he and I were really cool. I mean, we weren't best friends, but we knew each other well, and you know, I would love to keep those old videos up of him and maybe record them or get them on some type of recording for his family. But you know, there's a lot that has to happen. Obviously, first of all, the family has to want to sell it, and that's been the biggest issue with it, trying to get them to do that. They just haven't been moving quickly on it. Not saying they said no, but I'm sure it's a difficult thing for them to decide on, and I get that. But, you know, it would be a big for me because you're talking about adding 14,000 more subscribers to what we already have, which is close. We're getting close to we're right around 4,000 on both this and the basketball channel. So it would put us right around 20K. And so that's, in my opinion, you know, a number that people would look at and really notice and be respectful towards. I mean, I'm not putting on the clown suit, Jacob Yo-Ho. But, you know, I do think people look at subscriber count numbers, even though technically it doesn't matter. It's really all about what kind of numbers you're doing on the views. And it would be a what's the word I'm looking for here? It would be a risk because I don't know if the leftover people from his channel would even accept me. Hell, they may be offended that somebody else picked it up. And then do I change what do you do with the branding? You know, because obviously I would want to take it in a direction towards my branding, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to disrespect Gold Blue Dude and all the time and effort he put into his own branding. I've got this new website. I thought about maybe making it for West Virginia insiders, but there's a lot that has to happen between now and then. I'll keep you guys updated though. And if it does happen, just know that it will be for all of us to enjoy. And let's try to be the biggest, because that would make us the biggest for sure YouTube program out there. So it's something I'm excited about, y'all. So, but there's still a lot of work that has to be done there. So, how are those people not following you? I found him before you and Coos and Rich and Ryan and Jordan, but I followed all of you guys. Yeah, I think people have allegiances, but Golden Blue Dude that's another thing. His subscriber base is not all West Virginia people at all. There's a lot of other fan bases mixed in. He just appealed to a wider audience because he did a lot of conference realignment. So, you know, I think I can win those people over. I really do. But I would probably have to use that channel for a Big 12 centric at least. I'd have to go more Big 12 centric on it. But I would have to, you know, if I got it, I just have to look at the algorithm and see what it's telling me at the end of the day. If it's not working, something's not working, try something else, you know. But, you know, certain people were going to come on there and try to pass it on to me. We'll see if we can get that to happen. Golden Blue Dude had different people from different schools on there from time to time. Right. Yeah, I do that too, Krista. Like I had the Texas Tech. I don't know if you saw, but I had a guy from Texas Tech on here the other day. I had I had Penn State. I'm going to have Houston, Oklahoma State, unless you meant like different conference, which I don't have that done right now, but certainly want to, So, gosh, it's a downpour outside here right now. Hopefully it doesn't make my internet go too slow here. Yeah, I thought about that, Curtis, going the route of I've basically got the infrastructure for pretty much everything except for it. I've got the infrastructure for everything that you would need for a network. I've got the website, the multiple channels. The thing that I don't have is a staff, but nor can I really afford to hire a staff. But I could definitely hire interns. And I've seen other people get by doing that. Some people will come on and work for you for the promise of something in the future, as long as they can see growth in it. But I would have to do something, and maybe some of you guys could be that. But I would have a need availability. That's the biggest thing, Like you don't even have to be amazingly great at the job, but you have to show up, right? People just want to talk, get on there and talk about stuff. But I do think being charismatic and likable and all that stuff is part of it for sure. But that's what the main person's for. They'll come for you and stay for others, I think. But at the end of the day, it'd be uncharted waters for me. So I've got to get with a couple people on it and see what's up. But that message came through. It was them asking me what I wanted to do. So I'll probably cut this one just a little bit short. But so basically, guys, Neal Brown has really made some big predictions. If you didn't see the rest of the channel, or the rest of the channel, I've got channels on the brain here. If you didn't see the rest of the show, Neal Brown is saying things like Big 12 championship and beyond to the college football playoff, and I'm here for it, and we hope you're here for it. Rewind, go check it out. But I wrote an article on it as well if you want to go to West Virginia Insiders that details some of that. There's a lot to be excited about, though, guys. It's going to be a big year for us in West Virginia football, which we just haven't had in a while. So I would enjoy more content about the Big 12. I don't really have time to keep up with our opponents, so I would watch. Okay, Silas. Well, duly noted. I did see your interview with the guy from Penn State. That was a great interview. Thanks, Krista. A staff of one. I like the idea of you covering more overall. I think a Big 12 type podcast talking about all teams and even what goes on in college football as a whole. Thanks, Tyler. Yeah, I could probably do something like that. Team up with a channel like Cole Thompson. Yeah. People, the thing is I'm sorry, guys. I thought I turned that down, but I just got out of a situation where I was partnered with somebody, and without going into too much detail, that person and I we probably lost our friendship because of it, and sometimes you can ruin a friendship by going into partnerships with them. And so it would have to be somebody I'm not friends with. That'd be number one. I learned my lesson there. Number two, it's just hard to be partners with people. It really is. So I can be tough to work with at times. I can be set in my ways about things. I have to take responsibility for my end of it. I can't speak to anybody else, but I know I wasn't perfect, and there were things I could have done better. And I'm sure he would say the same. But the way, I don't think either of us felt good about splitting the thing up, but we had to. We just had to. We weren't getting along anymore. And it was just so many different reasons for it. I don't want to get into them all here, but point being, Simple Jack, thank you for the comment. And you probably may not even know about everything, but
All right, guys, my electric went out, so I apologize for that. Basically, my electric went out, so doing this off of cell phone data, so I don't want to go too long, but thank you guys for waiting on me. See, we lost basically everybody in the time frame that I was off, which is fine. But we'll talk more about this tomorrow, guys. Thanks for joining the show. This has been another episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. This episode is over, and I am out.